Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if Issei trained by Ophis part 3. Before I start, please do support for more awesome content and subscribe my channel and like this video and also share this video with your friends. I have created my other videos playlist, there you can watch my all videos easily, check out as well. Let's start this video. Time skip 3 hours. As Issei, Sona and Tsubaki left the Hyodo residence with Ajuka to make their way to the room that was going to hold the trial for the orc group, they separated so Issei could talk to Ajuka and the rest of the council that was attending to pass their judgment. Also, Ajuka was curious about what I could do to help identify if the said person was lying, as love has nothing to do with science-related things. So, Issei, what do you want to talk to us about before the trial starts? Ajuka asked with a raised eyebrow, and the council was also curious, including Lord Bale. Well, I was wondering if I can blend in with you guys during the trial, but also let you know if their answers to the questions you will ask are a lie or not with this globe I made, Issei said as he showed them a shiny globe. How does that globe supposed to work? Lord Bale asks curiously about it. Quite easy. I made a magic-induced platform for it to sit on to power it. When it's powered up, it activates the program spell I embedded into it, detecting a hint of lies or truths that will respond in colors, so if you tell the truth, it shines blue. If it were a lie, it would shine black, Issei explained, which made Ajuka have stars in his eyes and can already tell him he wanted to examine it. But wouldn't we be able to tell through their eyes if they were lying? Asked one of the council members. Not always, depends on the person if they are good at passing lies as truths, Ajuka said as Lord Bale agreed. Exactly, that's why I made this device, as I know Riaz has a way of getting a pass. Don't worry about them seeing the device. It is covered from view to them. Only us and Lord Ajuka can't see, Issei said, which made everyone wide-eyed, as this could also help in future trials. Issei, you can sit next to me during the trial, as I want to see if you are willing to join the likes of the Mayor Council to help out, Lord Bale said in hope. Well, I'm grateful. May I think about it as I discussed with Lord Ajuka, I am looking for a new source of energy crystals for my pieces, as the same attributes to the evil pieces, Issei said, which made them look shocked. Is that even possible? Lord Phoenix asked. Well, I will be off training to get myself ready for the world tournament that I heard about, but also maybe find some new allies along the way while searching for the source, Issei said as he smiled. So, would these pieces still turn you into a devil or something else? Lord Gremory asks. Well, if it's perfect, it can help many factions as a power source. I want to help bring back some dragons, but only if the person wants to be a dragon, Issei said, telling them his plans. So you won't join the devil's side anymore? Lord Bale asks, now curious about his answer. Well, to be honest with you, Lord Bale, I'm a full dragon as it is due to being reborn from the flesh of Great Red and the power of Ophis as well. But what you don't know is when I absorbed the pieces of the pawns, I became demon devil dragon of sorts, as I have access to power of destruction, which was inherited from the Bale family, Issei said as he smirks causing everyone to wide-eyed again. So you're a true dragon, but also a devil at the same time, but without the hybrid of mixed race. Lord Phoenix asked, and Ajuka looked like he wanted to experiment on me. Correct, so my pieces will not only bring back dragons if the person wanted to, but also can access the devil side and make contracts as well, but also can work for other breeds as well, if they choose to keep the race. For example, if I reincarnated a yakai into my peerage, but wanting to keep their race instead of mixing they can, but will just have enhancements of dragon devil powers with the pieces, Issei said, now making everyone even more wide-eyed. Well, I can't wait to see this achievement, Issei. Just bring the pieces to me once you find the source, and I will help set them up for you, Ajuka said as he smiled and liked this new side of Issei. Thank you, Lord Ajuka, let's get inside and start this trial and get it over with, but may I ask a suggestion? Issei asked. Sure, what do you want to suggest? Lord Bale asks. Well, instead of judging them straight off, we can collect the right evidence beforehand and punish them when they get back together to hear the verdict as a group, but when it's over, I suggest sealing their powers, so they can't use them against us, and also separate them, Issei said as he looked at everyone waiting for their responses. That sounds reasonable to me, Lord Phoenix said. I agree. Even if it's my daughter, she needs to learn. Everything can't go her way, Lord Gremory said, even though he was sad. We agree too, the rest of the council said. Well, I think that means your suggestion is approved, Issei, Lord Bale said as he smiled. Okay, let's head to our seats and get the trial started, Ajuka said as everyone started to leave. When the trial started, they brought all the Orcans separately, asked them various questions to see why they did it, and asked if they cared about me, which mostly turned out to be a lie that hurt me inside. Still, I noticed a truth from Akeno about caring about me, but I also learned she got pushed to cheat on him, which made Issei wonder what to do. When it came to Ria's trial, we all knew the harsh truth that she had lied about everything and realized I was just a tool for her and never loved me at all, as all her answers were a lie. Once the questions were answered and finished, they returned to the cell to wait for the council's verdict. Let's say they were a bit disgusted with most, but the worst was Ria's, even her father, was upset adequately about this. Well, I guess we know what to do, Lord Phoenix said to the group. Okay, with splitting them up, I suggest we send Kaneko to Lady Asaka as a servant under her watch, but also remove the evil piece inside her. For Akeno, I think we should also take out her evil piece and let her dad decide her punishment, as not only it's his daughter, but I think being around her dad should bring her back and hopefully learn her lesson. I also think others should be turned into maids and split to different households with powers sealed, Issei suggested. That's possible cause they help out the factions more, and since the Nekomata is quite low in population, Lady Asaka would definitely like that suggestion as punishment, but also to preserve her kind, Lord Bale said in agreement. Now, the only thing is Ria's. What should we do about her? Well, I'm happy with whatever judgment you suggest, as I removed her status as an heir of Gremory and revoked her territory in Kuo to hand it to Sona Citri, with the help of Roswas, Lord Gremory said, with a bit of disappointment in his tone. Well, we remove her powers from her and exile her with no memory of being a devil, and then place her somewhere with no supernatural influence around, Ajuka suggested. Yes, that's possible. What about these so-called boyfriends of theirs? Lord Payman asked. Sona has already erased their memories of the orc and also found out most of them are cruel people, with the intention of harming or just having sex with them and dumping them, Issei said, which shocked everyone. Wow, that's interesting to know. So is everyone happy with this verdict and ready to pass judgment on them, Ajuka said, wanting to get this over with. Yes, we all agree on the verdicts, everyone said. Okay, let's head back inside and bring them out to pass judgment on them, Ajuka said as everyone got out of their seats and returned to the trial room. As Orc was brought out together, they were sweating buckets as they didn't know what would happen. The only person who wasn't was Ria's, as she thought she got away with it, which would soon be broken when she found out what was going to happen. Right, the council and I have come to a verdict. You all are guilty and will now have your punishment handed to you, Ajuka said sternly. Kaneko Shirin, your judgment is removement of the evil piece and banish you from here to serve as Lady Asaka's servant, and she will have control of you from here on in. This shocked everyone, but Kaneko was the worst. Everyone else just gulped for their punishment. Akeno, your punishment is also removement of evil piece and will be sent to your father for him to decide your punishment. Zenobia and Asia, your punishment is to serve as a housemaid to different households. It will have your powers sealed, and last but not least, Ria's, Ajuka said, now looking at Ria's with an intense glare, making the girl sweat bullets. Your punishment is the sealment of your powers and also banishment from hell. You are removed as an heir to the Gremory, including being disowned. Also, your territory and status as a high devil have been stripped from you. As soon as Ria's heard that, she just fell to the floor, knowing that she had lost everything from her family to friends, but she had hope for the boyfriend she had made. Also, just thought to let you girls know that your supposed boyfriends have had their memory wiped from knowing you, but if you think that's bad, you are lucky as some of them are quite not innocent as they seemed, Ajuka said as he saw the hope of Ria's breaking up. As the orc learned their punishment, they were separated and sent to their new location, but what they didn't suspect was seeing Issei in the crowd, and that's they knew they fucked up badly and couldn't ask forgiveness. As the trial ended, Issei returned to the Hyodo household with Sona and Tsubaki. They were shocked at the verdict, but saw that Issei needed to be alone and bid him good night. Morning of departure. After the trial, everything was still digesting what happened, and Issei was upset knowing he was used just as a tool, and never actually loved apart from Akeno and Asia in a way, but still hurt the cause of the betrayal. Even if it was just a forced push to do it, they should have known better. Issei was currently in his world, just waiting for the arrival of everyone, including Ophis before she took him to the other dimension to learn new things and probably get new allies. Issei, you okay? You look puzzled. Momo asks, which breaks Issei out of thinking. Ah, sorry, Momo was just in thought from yesterday. That's an all-knowing harsh truth and all, Issei said with a sad smile. I'm here for you. As you said to me before, Issei as a friend can always vent, Momo said with a big smile, while giving him a shocked hug. Thanks, Momo, that helped. By the way, any news from Vritra about your worries? Issei asked in a quiet tone. Actually, yeah, according to Vritra, Saji is just overworking himself getting ready to stand for vice president of the student council, plus worrying about his siblings, Momo said with a bit of relief. Well, that's good, but he needs to slow down, so my advice is, as I know you are running for president, to snap him out of it and get him to ask for help every so often, Issei said with a smile. I will, don't you worry, and I'm glad I can talk more openly about this to you. I know we didn't get along at first due to your past activities, but you are a lovely-hearted person, Momo said. I agree with that, Sona said, making Momo and Issei jump. Sona-sama, don't do that. You'll give us a heart attack, both Issei and Momo said, blushing. Wow, you two are closer than you used to, Sona said with a smirk that looked mischievous. I know that look, and don't even think about it, Sona, or I won't give you a special gift that I made for you, Issei said as he deadpanned Sona. Oh, now I'm curious, as I didn't expect anything, Sona said, intrigued. Well, I've got something for everyone, Issei said as he scratched his head. Well, I look forward to it then when you pass them out, Sona says with a smile. After saying that, everyone was here, including Grafie and little Milikus, with Lord and Lady Gremory. They all gathered in the living room, having friendly chats and catching up till it was time for Issei to go. Right, everyone, before I got some gifts to give to some people, which I made myself, Issei said as he smiled, watching everyone's eyes widen. So first, Rose, I made you a special necklace as an influence of your Asgardian side, but also a mix of my dragon side of things to know how much you mean to me, Issei says as he passes her the box with the necklace inside. Wow, thank you, Ice, it's lovely, Roswia said with a big smile and blush. You're welcome, Rose. Right next are Gasper and Kiba. I made bracelets to help in defense. If you put a certain amount of magic into it, you should gain a bit of armor. Thank you, Issei, Kiba and Gasper said while they hugged each other. Right next is Sona. I know your love for chess is next to none, so I made an amazing set that automatically moves the pieces for you, so when you did not get anyone to play with, you have a magic-induced one to try and play against you with has different modes, depending what level you like to play at, Issei said as he gives the set to Sona, which shocked her. Thank you. I wouldn't have thought you would give me something like this, Sona said, still in shock but also blushing as she was embarrassed. Well, you're a friend, so why wouldn't I, Issei said while giving her a quick hug. Well, the next many gifts are for everyone, a set of special bracelets which, if you put magic into it, can increase or decrease the weight. These are to help out with your train schedule. There's also a magic restriction mode to help focus on the magic side of things to get more powerful spells with less waste of magic. As Issei explains about the gifts and said hopes it helps with their training that they started, he gives a kiss on the head to Rose and a hug, and then gives everyone else a hug or fist bump before he goes to Ophis to take him to the dimensional gap, so from there he can go into the other world to train and find new allies. Okay, everyone, I'll see you soon and hopefully before the international ranking game, so we can all go into it together. I'll find some unique gifts to bring back and hopefully make new friends, Issei says before walking to Ophis. Ready, Issei? Ophis said while tilting her head. Yeah, I'm ready too. Let's head out, Issei said as he waved goodbye. Dimensional gap. Okay, Issei, before I send you to this world, it will have some of the same gods from our world, but some might be a different gender, Ophis explained, while Issei nodded in understanding. I understand. Anything else I need to know? Issei asked out of curiosity. Nothing much that I know as I never explored it properly due to not wanting to be detected, Ophis said in her usual tone. Okay, makes sense, so I'm ready whenever you are, Ophis, Issei said with a smile. Right, first I'll give you a bit more of my energy, so if you're in trouble, I can come straight to you as it is linked to me, so stay safe. Also, the time in this world is a lot slower than the world, so I will communicate to you when the time is ready to return to our world, Ophis said as she gave Issei more energy. Whoa, definitely will have to train more to get used to the extra power now, and please be safe, Ophis. If there's an emergency, come grab me straight away, Issei says like a caring brother. Ophis tilts her head at that and nods before making a ripple in the dimensional gap to send Issei in. Issei approaches it and waves goodbye to Ophis before going into the ripple. World of Orario. Suddenly a ripple appeared, and out came Issei. He looked around, confused about where he was trying to figure out, but saw something in the distance, so he decided to walk towards it, not knowing what it was or who. Okay, dunno where I am, but maybe this person knows, Issei said to himself. Hey, Drake might have to be careful and not try and summon you straight away, just in case. No worries, partner. Call me if you need me, though, Drake said before disappearing. Will do, buddy, Issei said. Suddenly, a ripple appeared and out came Issei. He looked around, confused about where he was trying to figure out, but saw something in the distance, so he decided to walk towards it, not knowing what it was or who. Okay, dunno where I am, but maybe this person knows, Issei said to himself. Hey, Drake might have to be careful and not try and summon you straight away, just in case. No worries, partner. Call me if you need me though, Drake said before disappearing. Will do, buddy, Issei said. Unknown location. As Issei made his way to the unknown figure, he was also on alert as the place was dark and dimly lit, so he knew it was underground, just cautious of its whereabouts. Once he was getting close enough, he spoke to the unknown figure, hoping to get a clue without making it look like he was stupid. Whoa, I feel so nervous for some reason. Is it because I don't know where I am or because I hope I can speak their language, Issei thought as he approached the figure. Hello? Can you help me? I'm a bit lost. The unknown figure suddenly turned around and started running towards Issei while screaming until he got closer to realize it was a threat, and there was a body lying against the wall where the figure was once there. Or. The unknown figure screamed as it got closer. Okay, what the fuck is that? Drake gives me Ascalon out. Think I will need it, Issei said to connect to his partner. Okay partner, Drake said. Blade. Come here ugly, I will avenge that person. Issei shouted as he darted to the figure and sliced it in half to see it turn into dust and drop a crystal. Hey, partner, I sense magic coming from that stone it dropped. Fuse it with the gear so I can examine it, Drake says, curious about the stone. Sure Drake, but it's not big, but if you figure something out and find something a lot bigger, maybe we could use it as our peerage pieces in the future, Issei says, thinking of the possibilities. Interesting, this stone does hold magic inside it, even if it is little means maybe any creatures like that might hold one when they die, Drake says, letting out what he thinks. Okay, means any bigger creature, if any inside here could also hold a bigger crystal if we go on this theory, Issei shares what he thinks. More than less, Drake said. Issei then decided to walk towards the dead figure to see if there was any form of identity to be able to take in case someone was looking for them. Still, once he was close enough, Issei was shocked to see the figure was wearing some armor and weapons which looked like something from medieval times, but also now realized this place was giving him dungeon vibes, like some of the MMORPG games he used to play when he was bored. I can't find any form of identity, but seeing you in this armor and this place gives me the kind of vibes like I am in some sort of game world, Issei said to himself, but if anyone was passing, they probably thought he was weird. As Issei was searching for any form of identity, the dungeon decided to send a challenge to this newcomer in its domain by releasing a monster party as its call to the residents of this world, and it wasn't the Goblin King. Crack crack crack. Okay, what the hell was that? Issei said as he turned to look at where the noise was coming from. Crack crack crack. Now, this is something. They look like werewolves but also not simultaneously. Issei said as he observed them until they noticed his presence. Growl. A woo. Suddenly 2 of the 10 beasts charged towards Issei relatively fast, but not fast enough as Issei could still track their movements and prepared his blade again. Issei then dodged one of the creatures while killing the other with a swipe, chopping the head off. As the other creature turned around, it was too late as Issei was in front of it and his sword was buried right into the torso, killing it in one blow. Growl. A woo. The pack's leader seemed to order the rest of the lot to attack him and left the leader watching like it was learning or planning. Issei started dodging all the attacks and cutting them while damaging them. As Issei was battling and killing the creatures, he could hear voices coming closer and thought it was his chance to find a way out of this place and find out where he was. Anyone there needing some help please? Issei shouted in the hope of a bit of help. Suddenly all you could hear was multiple feet running towards him and Issei now got a smirk on his face while Chief Cowell decided to join in the battle with his fellows to take this intruder down. Sir, duck down now, my friend is about to fire his spell. Shouted a bloke with red hair and a blue bandana around his neck. Firebolt. Shouted a bloke with white hair and red eyes as he shot his magic from his hands, killing all the kobolds in one shot. You okay sir? A little girl asked with worry. Thanks for the help and yeah, I'm okay now thanks to that, Issei said as he got all and shook everyone's hands. It's all good, my name is Welf Krazo, the person with white hair is Bel Cranel, and this little miss is Lularuka Ard, Welf says in a cheerful tone. My name is Issei Hyodo, and I know this is going to sound weird, but I am kinda lost as not from around here, Issei says as he rubs the back of his head in embarrassment. Eh? All 3 said with mouths open. Look, I will explain when we get out of here if that's okay. Issei asked, still embarrassed about this. Sure, we were on our way back up anyways. Want to talk about it in private or public? Belle asked out of curiosity. Private be okay as it's something only can be told to a select few, and since you helped me and are trustworthy, I will be able to tell you, Issei said as he got up and picked up the dead person. By the way, who did you just pick up? Welf asked. To be honest, I don't know. I saw him here as I was looking for a way out, Issei said. Okay, we will drop him off with the guards near the entrance. They can alert his familia, Welf said with Belle and Lily nodding in agreement. As they traveled through the dungeon to reach the service, Issei and the others were chatting and getting to know each other a bit more, and funny enough, Issei found out Belle wanted to be a hero just like he used to when he was a kid who made him laugh to himself remembering them days. As they got to the top, they passed a body to one of the guards, saying where they found him and what floor, so they could see if there were any others around that area. So where to now? Issei asked out of curiosity. Who can take you to see my goddess and talk to them as it's private, she also might be able to help fill in some gaps, Belle says as he is in a thinking pose. May I ask which goddess? Issei asked. Ah, my goddess is Hestia, Welf's goddess is Hephaestus, and Lily's is god Soma, Bel said to his new friend. Oh, so the goddess of the sacred flame or hearth, goddess of the forge and god of moon and drink, very interesting, Issei says as he nods his head. You know about the god Issei Sama? Lily asks out of curiosity. You can say that but I will fill in more details when we have this chat, Issei says as he smiles and rubs Lily's head. Right, let's go. Bel says as we all follow him. As they walk through Orario, Issei admired all the sights while trying not to look too suspicious, and he thought that it looked like a medieval town, but had an acceptance of not just humans but all different races, which made him happy to see. As they walked through, Issei took note of a Japanese building and wondered who lived there. Oh no, who lives in that building? Issei asked out of curiosity. If I remember correctly, it belongs to the Take Mikazuchi familia. They traveled from the Far East continent from what I heard, but have not met any of them yet or their god, Bel says in a thinking pose. Take Mikazuchi, the god of thunder and sword, very interesting, Issei says as he nods to himself. Really? I never knew that, so awesome, Bel says as he smiles with stars in his eyes. They carried on walking towards Bel's familia base, and once Issei saw it, he looked sad and thought that he would try and fix it up once he found out what it used to look like as a gift. Once they entered the ruins of a church, Bel shouted for his goddess to let her know he was home and show her the new guest. Goddess, I'm home, also got a new friend that would like to talk to you, Bel shouted down the door underneath the church. Bel coming. Hestia shouted up as you heard crashing sounds downstairs. Wonder what she was doing to make such a noise down there, Issei said with a sweat drop. Knowing Hestia-sama, it won't be anything good, Lily says while facepalming. I'm going to head back to see my goddess, actually guys, so I'll catch up with you later, Welf says as he walks out. I Welf, three of them say. Here, Bel kun Hestia says as she puffs out air like she is running miles. Hi goddess. I brought home a new friend that wished to talk about something in private with us and hopefully can help him, Bel says innocently. Hestia said as she looked at Issei suspiciously. I never seen you in heaven before, where did you come from? What do you mean, goddess? We found him in the dungeon on floor 4. Bel asked, confused, looking back and forth between Hestia and Issei. Well, Bel kun, he has an aura of a god and shouldn't be in the dungeon, Hestia said, now more suspicious. Well, I can answer that easily, but first, do you believe in multiverse, Hestia-san? Issei asked out of curiosity. To be honest, I don't know, as I never encountered such a thing, but have been told about it ages ago. Why you ask? Hestia questioned curiously. Well, to answer your question, I'm not from this earth. I have come from an alternate version of Earth, Issei said, now watching the reactions of Hestia, Bel and Lily. Okay, that explains why I have not seen you in heaven, but how come you have a god aura, and why come to this multiverse? Hestia asked while calming herself down. Well, that's a long story, but shorter terms. I came here to train, as there's something I need to defeat to free some people I care about, Issei said with a sad tone. So are you going to sign up as an adventurer? And could you explain it to me? I love to know about you, since I can tell you are a very kind soul, but also have a hint of sadness, Hestia said as she could feel his aura. Maybe, but before that, I need knowledge of this place, and sure, I can explain, but for now, it just is between myself and you, Hestia, as this part is acceptable for me, Issei says as he explains while apologizing to Bel and Lily. No problem, Issei-sama. Bel and I will head downstairs and make some tea and food while you discuss what you need with Hestia-sama, Lily said as she bowed to Issei and pushed Bel downstairs. Thanks. I will explain when the time is right, as it's a bit of a sensitive topic for me, Issei explained, both nodding and vanishing downstairs. So what do you want to tell me, Issei? Hestia asked curiously as she tilted her head. Well, actually, it's easier showing you through a little trick of mine, but be warned, it's not pretty, and you know how my life has been. From a note, I apologize as well, as I was a former pervert back in the day, Issei explained as he giggled. Okay, and it's okay. I've seen worse before, and how will you show me? Hestia asks. First, trust me, I won't do anything uncomfortable, it will just seem it, Issei says as he moves his finger to Hestia's head and sends her a vision of Issei's life to how he is now. As Issei shares his life with Hestia through his ability, you can see her putting her hand over her mouth and crying, seeing what he's been through and understanding why he wants to get stronger. You poor thing, I can't believe you've been through all that at such an age, but also people you meet, considering you were just a normal person being thrown into all that, but I also see how advanced your world is compared to ours, but also the same time I can see also how separate things are, Hestia says out of respect. Yeah, even though it is the same world but also different is quite amazing, so can you explain about this place, or would I need to go somewhere also? As I'm from a different place, can I work as an adventurer? Issei asks out of curiosity. I would have thought so, as you are not from our world, so rules shouldn't apply to you. Would you like to join my family or search for someone else? Well, if I joined yours, I think it would cause you a lot of problems in the run, but I will help you out any way I can as you are the first person I've come across and helped me out, Issei said with a smile. So sweet, and I can understand that, so who would you pick? Also, the guild has a library there which can help out much more than I can do as I'm new to this place myself, Hestia says. As Issei and Hestia finished their main talk, Belle and Lily emerge from downstairs with some food and drink and talk about minor things, mainly stories from Issei's world, which he was pretty happy to tell stuff about, especially some of the anime and manga he has read. As night drew in, Hestia asked if Issei wanted to stay the night and was willing to share the bed with him, even though he was skeptical at first, but agreed with a blush while Belle slept on the sofa. Lily went to her place as she said goodnight and left. Next morning, as Issei woke up, he felt some weight on his chest. He looked down and saw Hestia cuddling him, which made him giggle softly, but also sad as it reminded him of the past, so he waited for her to wake up to realize what she was doing, but decided it was time to get up and headed to the kitchen to make breakfast for everyone, since Belle was still asleep at the time as well. As Issei finished making breakfast, both Hestia and Belle were waking up to the smell and hearing their stomachs growl, making Issei laugh. Growl, the FFT, hahaha, was the smell of cooked breakfast that good Issei said as he laughed. Woo, Issei-kun, we can't help it, especially with that aroma. It smells so lovely, Hestia said as she pouted while holding her stomach. It does smell nice. What did you make, Issei? Belle asked out of curiosity. Well, I made some omelette and toast with some fresh juice for a drink, Issei says as he starts plating the food for everyone. It tastes so good. Hestia says as she eats breakfast. I agree, goddess. So Issei, what will you do today? Belle asked curiously. Well, Hestia and myself are going to the guild's library to learn more about Orario and also the dungeon, then maybe sign up as an adventurer to earn some money, Issei says in a thinking pose. Oh, will you be joining a familia then? Belle asked, which made Hestia look at Issei with hope. Not at the moment, as I want information first, plus I don't want to bring too much attention to Hestia with getting me or the same with other gods depending on what they find, Issei explains. Makes sense to me. No doubt Oranos has felt your presence in the dungeon, so I bet you get some contact from him sometime, Hestia says as she finishes the last of her omelette. Ah, the primordial god that helped start the Greek gods and goddesses, Issei says out loud, which stunned Belle. But gods and goddess can't give birth. Belle said, confused. The FFT, Belle hates to break it to you. They can, but not while here, as their powers are forbidden in a way, Issei explained as Hestia nodded in agreement. That's right, it's sad, but it's the price we pay, Hestia says as she shrugs. But goddess, you're always hugging me and wanting to do stuff like that, Belle says as he deadpans at her. I don't know what you're about, Hestia says as she playfully whistles. I see you've been caught out, Hestia, Issei says as he smirks. Oh, shush you, Belle. Are you going to the dungeon today? Hestia asks. Not today, goddess. I will see well for maintenance on my armor and weapons, then I might do some training, Belle says. Oh, say hi to them for me, Belle and I will see you afterwards, maybe. Issei says. Will do. Okay, that's me going now. See you later, goddess and Issei, Belle says as he leaves through the door upstairs. So Hestia is ready to go? Issei asked. Yes, all ready to go. At least I can show you around afterwards, maybe introduce you to some of my friends, Hestia said with a smile. That would be nice. Can probably know where to get certain things then, Issei says as he follows behind Hestia. Hestia and Issei were walking around Orario, being shown spots for clothes, weapons, potions and even places to eat and drink. Their last stop was the guild, so Issei could register as an adventurer and also learn about the dungeon itself and Orario's history, which Hestia left with Issei so he could study. At the same time, she goes back to see what Belle and others are up to. Hey, Drake, what do you think about this history and other information we are getting from these books? Issei asked in his thoughts. Most of it is strange but useful, but also its history is good to know as it gives you an idea to look out for, especially the group Evilus, Drake says, with Issei nodding in understanding. I agree that group reminds me of the Cows Brigade back home, doesn't it? Also their way of thinking and gaining magic is weird, but hey, maybe we can help in that department, as I bet we can help them make sub-skills for their magic if they are limited to 3 on, Issei said as thinks out loud. Maybe, but we won't know till we get asked for help or decide to train someone, but also we could maybe get ideas for new skills for ourselves, Drake said. True dat, could do with some more defensive spells, and some support ones too, Issei thought, to which Drake nodded in agreement. Least you think more now rather than just jumping into the fight like we used to, haha, Drake said as she laughed. So funny, Drake. I'll admit it wasn't my finest trait, but due to the betrayal and other things, I wanted to make myself better than my previous self and achieve a new goal, Issei replied to his partner. Well, even though it was a painful experience to have but to know where things needed improving and having more than one goal is always a good thing to have, Drake replies softly. Very true, still sucks, and to find out how I was just a plaything to her, oh well, I can restart on a new self and try not to let this get to me. Anyways, best start heading back. Maybe we can try and make some homemade armor out of materials and use my ability to make it work, Issei says while putting the last of the books away. I agree to partner. We might find new allies to bring back to our world for the tournament, maybe, Drake said. Yeah, that will be awesome, but for now, we will focus on learning things from this world and training, then think about that when it's time to go back to our world, Issei says as he leaves the library section. Ah no excuse sir, an unknown voice said behind him. Issei says as he turns around and stares at a pink-haired woman. Can I help you? Yes, I am here to give you this, and also if you can follow me has been asked to direct you to our god in charge of the guild, said the pink-haired woman. Oh, so been summoned by Lord Oranos interestingly, Issei said. Thank you miss. Oh, pardon my rudeness. My name is Misha Flott. I am also your guild advisor for when you do adventuring or exchanging magic stones, Misha said. Well, nice to meet you, Misha-san. As you should know, my name is Issei Hyodo, and I hope you look after me, Issei said as he smiled and bowed. I say the same to you. I will be in your care, so let me take you towards Arano-sama's room, Misha said as she turned around and started to walk the opposite way. As Issei followed Misha to Arano's room, they decided to have a friendly conversation on the way to get to know each other better and also learn more about the city and dungeon itself, which was interesting as he learned a lot about the monsters and weaknesses of them that's been recorded, and also the learning the lowest floors that been reached so far, which was the Zeus and Hera Familia, but sadly they are gone. Here we are. Issei-san, go through this door, which should lead you to Arano-sama's temple room. It also was a pleasure talking to you, and I hope to help you even more, Misha said as she smiled and waved goodbye. Thanks, Misha-san, and it also was a pleasure, Issei replied as he waved back and then headed through the door. As Issei entered through the door, he found a very dark corridor leading to a dark room lit by torches. Then he noticed a throne on top of a few stairs in the middle of the room with Oranos himself sitting on it. Lord Oranos, it's a pleasure to meet you in person. May I ask why you summoned me, considering I've only been in Orario a day? Issei asked while he bowed in respect. Ho ho, I never thought a being from another universe would show such respect, Orano said in a cheerful mood. Due respect, I have to show it, considering you're a primitive god, Issei said with a smirk. So what would you like to talk to me about, since you know I'm from a different alt universe? Well, I just wondered why you had appeared and strange enough in the dungeon itself, and also what your plans were, Oranos asked. Well, I came here to train a bit as I want to save my friends and other gods from a self-made dimension to trap the 666 beast, which is like joint second strongest in our world, Issei explained. Self-made dimension. What kind of creature is this beast? May I ask Oranos curiously. Well, if you like, I can share my memories with you, but be warned, it is different to this world, and also, you will see my most embarrassing moments to where I am now, Issei explained as he waited for an answer. May I, and don't worry, I won't judge you if I had to put up with Zeus's moments here. I don't think it's worse. Orano said as he facepalmed at the comment. I'm guessing Zeus was a bit of a pervert in this world as well, then. Issei said with a sweat drop. Unfortunately, yes, same as Hermes, Orano sighed. Well, the All-Father Odin was just as bad. Sadly, I never met Zeus in person, just heard about him from others, Issei said as he came closer to share his memories. That's new. Odin is more respected here, guess he got too soft of sorts, and I'm ready to see your memories, Orano said. Well, here goes, Issei said as he touched Orano's hand and started sharing his memories of where he is now. I see that is quite a past you have there. Even seeing a male version of Loki is quite disturbing but funny at the same time. So Mr. Hyodo, what are your next plans of action, since you are not bound by our laws of having to seal your powers, but if possible, can you not use them as much as possible? Oranos asked but was also curious about the young boy. Well, my main plan is to train, but I dunno if having a would do anything to me or not is unsure, and who I will let will probably have an understanding of my situation, and as for my powers, I won't be using them unless called for as an emergency, Issei stated his plan. I see. Have you got an idea of whom you like to join? Oranos asked. Well, possibly two goddesses, but one is not around anymore, as I've read in your library. The other one is probably Hephaestus, as I am interested in making stuff, Issei said his thoughts. May I ask which goddess you were thinking that had left? Oranos curiously asked. The goddess of justice Issei, but I also know that she was more a female-oriented familia, Issei said. Sadly, Issei left behind one of her own due to the downfall of the rest of the family, but she can easily come back if needed. From what I sense and you would fit both goddesses, to be honest, but with Hephaestus, you can learn and venture down whenever you need to, especially with your skills in both magic and fighting, Orano said while rubbing his chin. Well, I'll consider talking to Hephaestus to see what she says, and also, if needed my assistance in anything, just give me a heads up, and I'll try my best to help you if I can, Issei said as he bowed to Oranos. Thank you, that would be appreciated, and if such a time comes, I will notify you and take this letter to Hephaestus. It will be my recommendation for you to join her familia, but also, can you share your memories with her as well, just so you know why you are here if questioned, Oranos said as he passed Issei a letter with his stamp on it. Of course it only makes sense, to be honest. Also, I'm going to look forward to learning a new skill, Issei said with a big grin. Issei then bows and leaves Oranos' room and makes his way back through the corridors of the guild to make his way back to Hestia before heading to Hephaestus to see if she will be willing to let him join her familia, under the pretext of knowing he might not only be called by Oranos for help, but also that he won't always be here, as he will return to his original world after he trains a bit more to be able to get rid of Trahexa and hopefully let everyone come back from the dimension they sealed themselves in. Thanks for watching this video. Part 3 is over. If you really enjoy this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below, and turn on that bell notification. And also check out the playlist that I have created and enjoy. Link is in the description. See you in the next video. Goodbye.